What's good, everybody? Welcome back to yet another video. I know you can see that the setup is completely different. Almost it's a little bit different, but it's completely different. You can see there is stuff going on next to me, and also don't ask me what those plants are doing, because they're artificial, but like regardless, they for their aesthetics and to add some ambience, if you get what I'm saying. Okay, so in today's video, as you can tell by the title, we are talking about, we are not, because I'm doing the talking, so let me not involve people. I'm kidding, but I'm doing the talking for now. I'm going to be talking about the 5 things that I wish I had known, much earlier in my career as a professional. Right? This is when I started working. These are the things that I wish I had known from the beginning, if you get what I'm saying. Okay, so number 1, I wish I had started, investing my money in cryptocurrency, stocks, equity, and all of those things instead of saving my money in the bank. Simply because saving your money in the bank is not always the best decision, especially now that the interest rate was very, very low. So that meant that your return on savings or investments is obviously very, very low. In terms of there's sometimes little to no interest with your money. So I felt, I should have invested my money in stocks, because at some point, I remember when I started out, I'd invested 200 rands in one of the companies, and I gained 100% profit, which was amazing. So cryptocurrency is a really, really a great start. So I wish I had done that earlier. I think my first introduction to cryptocurrency, which was Bitcoin, was back in 2016. And I wish I had started right there and then. I wish I was curious enough to give it a try, but we're not gonna cry over spilled milk. We're where we are. And also just another thing, so with investment, you only invest the money you're willing to lose, because you're not guaranteed any returns, you're not guaranteed anything. You could lose, you could not lose, but you can suffer a loss compared to if you had saved your money in the bank. If you save your money in the bank, you still want to find it there, but obviously if you invest, it could deka, it could deka. But anyway, that's just me. So also, just a disclaimer, when I say you in the video, I mean me. I don't mean you. So you can do whatever you want, but in this case, I'm just talking to the old self, that if I had known this earlier, then I would have done. But I'm just gonna say you, because it's easier to say I, So number 2, what I would have done, or what I wish I'd known earlier, is to put myself first, right? So that is me. I should have put myself first. If I had known this earlier, I would have practiced it, because it falls on to the importance of knowing what it is that you want. It goes back to my previous videos. I should have known what I wanted more. I should have put myself first. I should have looked at the type of things that I wanted to do as a software developer. I should have sat down with myself and be like, okay, Naledi, what is your job description? What it is that you want to see yourself do on a daily basis? I should have went with this is what I want, put myself first, instead of, okay, so this is the contract, I'm going to sign it for the sake of employment. So me working because I needed a job was not putting myself first, I feel. It could have either been the pressures of the circumstances. It was not necessarily something that I felt like I would have chosen on any given day. I know I once given an advice that you guys must just get the experience. Scratch that, be very specific. Now I'm talking to you. Be very specific, as to what it is that you want to do, and go to a company knowing very well what they're about, and also check if it resonates with you. It's about you in this case. So when you're looking for a job, you know. Also me, now I'm talking to me. I should have also looked at the type of a work environment that I would have wanted to work in and put myself first and be like, this is not for me, you know. And yeah, I know there was a lot of complications, but now that I know that I need to look at situations and decide if they're for me or they're not for me, and not do it out of desperation, because that is really, really dangerous. So yeah, I would have put myself first and loved myself more. Not that I love myself any less, but I could have done a better job into doing that. And number 3, hard work is overrated. Okay, so before you come for me about hard work being overrated, also, sure, this one is very, I feel like it's like a bit of a touch and go, right? This is, of course, based on my experience. It's not the Bible. Me saying hard work is overrated is not the Bible, right? I think I've found myself in a position where I was working so much and so hard, and I felt like I was not rewarded for it. That meant, you know, because I sort of worked in as a what you call this thing. I used to work as a production developer and as an intern. I mean, you were not supposed to work that hard, but I did. For some weird reason, I found myself thinking that, oh no, I'm gonna get you know, recognized for it. I mean, like, not like good, well done, thank you so much, but like as in, give me more money, you get. But I didn't. And some of the people who probably, like, who didn't even work that hard probably earned more than I did. And yeah, there was also an instance where we worked so hard, we got, you know, obviously if you work hard, the whole team will end up getting rewarded for it, even the ones who didn't do anything. So that's when I was like, hi man, Lende hard working is not balancing. But anyway, so that is just me, you know, just do what you are supposed to do. I'm not saying don't go over the top, but also I think it could have been the fact that I was probably in the wrong place to begin with. So I put all my energy in the wrong place, you know, and I burnt out at the end, and to a point where, oh man, it is what it is. So that's what I wish I had known, that don't work so hard, girl. Huh? Don't work so hard, right? Yeah, also given the place that I was working at. So that's why I felt like I wish I had known that before going into the job, that I shouldn't work hard at that job. So number 4, stay in your flippin' lane, naledi. If I had known this and stop being the eager beaver, you know, when they're like, okay, so who's gonna mop the floor? I will. You know, always like raising your hand to being an assistant. I mean, like, that's a good thing, but if you are appreciated in that place, and if it goes back to me saying, go to a place where it resonates with you and whatever. But I just felt like I didn't stay in my lane. I didn't set boundaries when I should have. I mean, like, that's nobody's fault. I just had a boundary problem, people pleasing. I just wanted to please my boss. And you see, that's also the other thing that I sort of dislike about being employed. You always, like, your people pleasing don't just doesn't get helped, you know. It gets worse, because now you must make sure that your boss is happy, you must make sure that the client is happy, even at the expense of your health. So staying in your lane is going to help you, you know, in a lot of ways. Because if it's 4 o'clock, it's time for you to bounce. You set a boundary that at that time, because you know in your lane, you know at 4, your contract ends at 4 or 5, whatever, right? When that time hits, whether there's a P1 or whatnot, you know your position in the company. Don't now try to be a technical architect and try to solve the problems and try to be like, you know. I mean, also, it's subjective, if you understand what I'm saying. But I should have stayed in my lane. But can no the pop. But anyway, let's call up. Last but not least, we have in the thing that I had to learn the hard way, right? Which is the fact that, like, it's a statement rather. What I wish I'd known earlier is that in life in general, just because you're a good person does not mean that you will deal with good people. People will treat you good. People will still be narcissistic. People will still be evil. People will still be the thing that they are. Do you understand? People will still be vindictive regardless. So being a good person doesn't pay off. Not that I could have been a bad person. I'm just not that person. But if I had known that, and I'm guilty until proven innocent. I think the whole thing of we are all innocent until proven guilty is gonna bite you in the ass. And it's not going to be cute when it happens, because you are going to be in denial so much because you're seeing the good in everyone, see the bad in everyone until proven otherwise. That's what, if I were to have kids one day, I would just tell them that everyone is a bad guy until they prove you otherwise. Everyone is guilty until proven innocent, because you sort of, I don't know. I probably grew up around really, really good people that, you know, when I got older, Yosana made vouchers in the world. But yeah, I mean, being a good person is not rewarding. I'm not saying I should have been a bad person. I'm not saying you should be a good person, but keep that at the back of your head, that if you had to make a decision, do it for you. Do whatever makes you happy, right? So don't think, oh no, maybe my mother's gonna cry. You don't know what your mother would do in your situation. If it means, Bana, there's something better out there for you, go for it. So basically that's just it. Okay guys, when I said go for it, I was talking to me. Yo guys, don't. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and yes, this is the end of the video. Please tell me what you think about the whole setup. Tell me if you like it, if you don't, if you think it could be better. But I mean, like, if I didn't know that was good, it's on the answers, but anyway. But anyway, thank you so much guys for watching. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I mean, if you've made it this far, like, obviously you have most.